Bam. Right, got some career change manuals gonna use. Gonna use it on John Doe because he's one of my lower guys. Doesn't look like it there, does it? 171, 36, 66, and 175. It's pretty good, but he's actually one of my lower employees. So what I'm gonna do is he's leveled to level 5 already, so I'm gonna use a career change manual on him. And now you can see I have the option of changing him. I've actually done this a few times already. He's level 5 in coder, writer, designer, and sound engineer. So now I'm going to change him to producer. Alright, so I'm going to do that and move along now until a little bit later. So, I'm using the self-help book on Steve Johnson. And it says here, the next time they produce development points, 2 more will be extra motivated. So basically when he's developing and we've used the career change manual on him, if he's doing good, other people are going to be doing just as good. Alright, so I made a trivia comedy game called WTF Do You Know? What the fuck do you know? Alright, so gonna career change him now that I've leveled him up to level 5. See, now you can see at the bottom there we have hardware engineer, brand new. Gonna change into that, and I can develop a console. If you go to develop, and then at the bottom it says console, click on that. You see here that it says CPU, media, and type. So the CPU is the type of power it has, basically. So a 32-bit chip or a 16-bit chip. You can imagine the difference between the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo 64 would be the Super Nintendo was 16-bit and the Nintendo 64 was 64-bit. The PlayStation was actually a 32-bit chip. Most people imagine it would be more powerful than the Nintendo 64, but it was in different ways. But that's just the general gist of this. So if we look here, we have 16-bit chip, 32-bit chip, and 64-bit chip. Now you can go to the media type, and you'll have 4 different types of media. You have cartridge, like the original Nintendo consoles, or the original Sega consoles, just back in the 80s and 90s. They were all on cartridges. CD-ROMs, things like the PlayStation were on CDs. DVD-ROMs were like last generation with the PlayStation 2 and the original Xbox. Even the Xbox 360 is on DVD. The BD-ROM is a Blu-ray disc, and that is used on the PlayStation 3. As you can tell, it's the most expensive one. There's no need to develop a console out of the current console range that you're in. So right now, the newest console is actually 16-bit, I believe, unless there was a 32-bit one released. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to develop a 32-bit console, because it's at least with the generation I'm in, or even a bit above, just a little bit above. And I'm going to use a DVD-ROM, which goes well with the 32-bit chip. And I'm going to develop a console instead of a portable, because you have the 2 options there for type. I'm not sure how much of a difference it makes. I've never really looked into it, but it only costs $2 million difference. So let's move along with that. So it takes a long time to develop a console. So before you develop a console, develop a video game, and immediately when you release that video game, start developing a console, because you want as little time between video games as possible in order to not lose very many fans. Even in doing this, I'm going to lose some fans because it takes such a long time. So here I am, I'm about to start developing a console, and the first half of the console is developing with fun and graphics, and I need 450 of each for the type of console I'm making. So I'm just going to let that run its course. See, I've started to lose some fans. I've finished the first half, and now I'm going to go into the second half. Alright, so I'm done the second half now. And the second half was obviously sound and creativity. Here we go. You can name your console. I'm going to call it the Echo Box. Why not? Alright, it's starting to ship. And now let's start developing some games so we don't lose more fans. Don't forget, when you develop a console, when you start to develop a game, change the platform to your console. I've made that mistake before, and it sucks. because your console will fairly certainly have the highest market share because it's brand new and you're really releasing unlimited amounts. And it will continue to grow as long as you're developing for it. Let's develop some sequels. To develop a sequel, you go to develop and then obviously sequel. And you have an option to choose between your Hall of Fame games. The first one that shows up is the newest one. I like to go back to the first one, the one that is shown as number 1 in the list, and I'll develop for that, and then I'll move on to the second one, and so on and so forth. Alright, so you can see when I developed the proposal, I got 39 fun points, but right after that, you'll notice I have 67, so I obviously started with 28 points, because it's a sequel. Alright, here's another event that can happen. Another game is being released by another company that's very similar to ours, so that could potentially damage some of our sales. Alright, looks like I got 36 points this time. So, if you develop a sequel and it doesn't make the Hall of Fame, you won't be able to develop any more sequels for it. So you want to continually develop sequels that make the Hall of Fame. So my first week sales for Kinderjabba 2 was over 2 million. That's awesome. So keep moving along. So I guess that's it for now. From here on, I'm sure you can figure everything out. That's basically everything I needed to tell you. So just a few notes. To move to the second office, where you have 6 people, you need to have at least $1 million and get to year 4. I believe that's what that is. But to get to the third office, you need to win 3 awards. Here's a couple of the cheats for you. When you're developing a game and you want to use someone for developing a proposal or anything like that again, and you use them for the last game, just start and go to the menu where you're choosing a person to develop the proposal, and then hit back, and then hit OK again, and then you'll be able to use him without him being tired of working so many projects in a row. Any other cheats, or I guess exploits of glitches here? I got a couple things that you might like to know. There is a possibility for another type of CPU for developing a console, and another type of media that it's on. The CPU is called a potato chip. Yeah, potato chip. And the CPU, I don't remember what it is, but it's much better than anything else. But you need to have more than one hardware engineer. So I believe if you have 2 hardware engineers, you get the potato chip, and if you have 4 or 6 hardware engineers, you get the other type of media. I've only done that once, and it took me forever to be able to buy enough career change manuals to change all my characters into that. So I don't really bother with that anymore. I just see how high I can get my cash reserve before the game ends at 20 years. And when the game does end at 20 years, you can continue, but it won't mark down what you have as records. So like your total cash earned will stop at 20 years, but you can continue playing if you want. Alright. Well, you're welcome for making this. Took forever. See ya.